Welcome to the party, pals, GRC Mafia. We came across this the other day. So NIST SP 1334, reducing the cybersecurity risk of portable storage media in OT environments. This is an initial public draft as of July 15th. Comments are due by August 14th, and I'll put the links in the description for the direct NIST page. This is actually a really short NIST document here. It's only 2 pages in length. I think this is a great handout document. And I really love how they're also throwing out the different control recommendations here as well. So right off the bat here, they mention, portable storage media continues to be useful tools for transferring data physically to and from operational technology, OT environments. I don't think that's going to go anywhere. It's not only mentioning about USBs, but also CDs, DVDs, SD cards, like all of that kind of stuff follows underneath this portable storage. Now, if we go ahead and go down a little bit here, we can see this is still page 1, but procedural controls. So an organization should develop policies that enforce purchasing, authorizing, and managing organization-owned media. Devices provided by other sources should be considered untrusted. This also goes to, the fact that, if you find a USB drive out in the parking lot, don't go plugging it in or using it. The next one here, procuring devices that support hardware-based encryption standards such as FIPS. Prohibiting media usage unless expressly authorized. So it should be limited to specific personnel and purposes. Especially if you look at some of the other data breaches and so forth, not everybody needs to be, plugging in a USB drive. Procedures for provisioning, usage, storage, sanitization, and destruction. Yeah, that covers a bunch of different policies there as well. Enable logging for traceability, systems and user identity, device serial number, date, and time. Actually keep track of not only the USB devices that are authorized, but then also when they're used, how they're used, and so forth. Training staff on policies and procedures. It doesn't do any good if you just throw them a stack of paperwork and say, hey, this is what we're supposed to do. Physical controls. One way to minimize risk when using portable storage media is to apply physical controls for accessing, labeling, and storing them. Media should be stored in a physical secure location where only authorized individuals can access. Approved portable media storage should be labeled. So labels may indicate who may use it, on which network or system it may be used, and functional purpose. Having a designated space to store approved media. That also makes me kind of think about when we're going through and labeling different chemicals in the workplace. We could go off and do the exact same thing for this portable storage. And then that, makes it a lot more clear too. So now moving over here to page 2, we have technical controls and transport and sanitization. So technical controls, so media should be protected consistently with guidance found in the NIST SP 882. An organization should establish technical controls that enforce blocking or disabling ports or on unauthorized machines. This could be done using physical blocks or logically disabling devices and ports. You can go into a machine and you can completely disable the USB ports, scanning of media prior to and after usage, reformat devices before reusing them on different equipment or environments. Maybe one case being there was an incident that occurred, it was contained, maybe you loaded whatever was malicious onto a USB drive. You probably don't want to be going around plugging that in to transfer over some files. Write protection when files only need to be read. That goes back to role-based access control, but then also least privilege as well. This group may need to be able to read these documents, but there's no reason they should be copying them over and writing them and so forth. Disabling auto run. That's a really big thing too. Especially when you first plug in a USB drive. Encrypt and data storage on portable storage media using FIPS compliant algorithms. So using encrypted portable media, especially if it's going to be leaving the facility, but even just for, I use a USB drive just for local backups, and I have that encrypted because if somebody breaks into my place, I don't want them to run off with that and be able to just plug it in and take everything. They'd still have to know the encryption key. Transport and sanitization. Transportation within and between organizations introduces risk, which can be reduced by applying additional physical and logical controls, including encryption or a locked container that can be used to securely transport USB devices within an organization. Hash or checksum verification should be performed when transporting files. Sanitization should be performed prior to disposing of the device. Media sanitization should include monitoring, viewing, proving, tracking, and documenting actions. For more details, see NIST SP 888, Guidelines for Media Sanitization. All right, let's see here. So now we're coming down to the conclusion. So organizations can reduce the cybersecurity risk of USB device use and secure physical and logical controls on the access, storage, and usage of USB devices, and training on how to utilize USB devices safely and effectively in OT environments. And then they list out 882, 853, and 888 for more information and more specific controls there as well. Now, again, this is a document that's an initial public release. So if you guys would like to go through, check out this document. If you guys have any types of comments in regards to this, then you guys can go through and contact this email right here to send your comments in. Maybe you guys have recommendations on things that they missed or some of the language used within it. Maybe there's some other documents that should be mentioned. There's all kinds of different types of feedback that could be positioned back towards this. Thank you guys for tuning in, and you guys have a great rest of your weekend. GRC Mafia.